Hello, everybody. It's Lisa Campion here again. I am talking today about the art of discernment. So what does that mean? Discernment is one of the psychic arts, and it's really the ability to tell what kind of person, being, entity, etc. that you're dealing with. And actually, everybody has the ability to do this. So, we do it all the time. It's a skill that everyone has, and you do it all the time, probably mostly unconsciously. Just like everyone's psychic, everyone's intuitive, everyone has the ability to sort of tune in to what's going on here. We also have this ability to sort of tell what's going on. So here's, for example, a scenario that might have happened to you. Let's say that you, it's kind of a good example of this. Let's say you wake up in the middle of the night and you perceive that there's someone or something in the room with you, which, by the way, is the most common psychic experience, actually, that most people have. It's really, really common, especially when somebody has passed away. It's when somebody's passed away and they come to visit you. So maybe they died and you dream about them. You see them standing at the edge of your bed when you wake up. There's some kind of contact you're having. This is called a deathbed visitation. And I thought it was really interesting that Gallup polls actually did a survey on this a couple of years ago. They surveyed a lot of people, about 5,000 people, and sort of very ordinary people, like they just pulled people off the street. It's not like a new agey kind of group that they were talking to. And they found that 80% of those people confess to having this exact kind of experience, this deathbed visitation, which is why that it's really considered the most common psychic experience. And it's pretty interesting, right? So let's just go back to that scenario. If you are an empath, if you're kind of an emotional empath, you're going to feel that there's something there. Like you just wake up and you're like, I feel like something's in the room with me. I just feel it. If you have the psychic sense of knowing, you might know that, like, I don't know why I know, I just do. If you have the hearing psychic thing, you might hear it, right? Or if you're a visual psychic, you might see something there with you. And by the way, the reason that you perceive these things, usually why they happen at night, is because of the brainwave states that we have. So we have these 4 brainwave states. We have the beta state, which is the waking state. We have alpha, which is the most psychic and intuitive place that we have. We have the theta brainwave, which is where the deep healing happens, and then the delta, which is like the lights out one. And we loop through these brainwave states all night long, right? So we loop through them, and it's really as we're falling asleep or waking up and we hit that alpha state that our psychic senses are the most acute. That's why these things often happen at night. So for example, you might say you see that somebody standing at the foot of your bed at night, and you go to turn on the light and they disappear. But what really happened is, in the act of turning on the light, you woke up and you shifted your brain state out of alpha and into beta, and that's why maybe you don't perceive them the way you did before. Maybe it doesn't necessarily mean that the light chased it away and it's not there anymore. No, actually it's probably still there. So sorry to tell you that. But anyway, back to discernment. So back to our scenario, you see something that's there. You might be a little startled. So usually most of us are like we're startled. Underneath that feeling of being startled, you will have a sensation or knowing about that experience. And we can break that sensation or knowing really into 3 different categories. Is it good? Is it neutral? Is it bad? Okay? The good things we tend to feel, we feel it in our body, like your body will feel loose, will feel soft, your stomach will be relaxed, you feel warm, fuzzy, your emotions feel happy, right? We feel good, right? Neutral ones feel neutral, like you don't feel one thing or another, you're just like, there's something there, there's a person there, I don't have a feeling either way. And if it feels kind of bad, then it's like you feel cold, shivery, queasy, shut down, goose, flesh all over you. And this is how we begin to practice this art of discernment. And just so you know, the good ones that you have a good feeling about are usually helpful spirits. We call those spirit guides. That's sort of the term that we use these days. They can be loved ones that have crossed over. They can be your angels. They can be just benevolent beings that are here to help us, right? Neutral ones are usually just curious, and they're often just passing through. When we sleep, we tend to light up the astral plane a little bit, especially those of us that have a lot of latent psychic ability. That's why kids, children, super psychic people kind of attract that tension at night, right? And bad ones are pretty rare, and but they do happen. And what to do about them is probably for a different video. But pray, turn on the lights, command, tell it to leave, light incense or sage. Salt lamps are very effective too. There's a lot you can do. Kind of get up, walk around, have a cup of tea, drink some water, put on some good music and tell it to go, right? Use your bad dog voice, tell it to go. So we begin to do this discernment, right, by having those feelings, the feeling good, the feeling bad, or the feeling neutral. And by the way, you have the exact same experience with any person that walks into the room, right? And you've been doing this your whole life, like I said, mostly unconsciously, right? We know right away. You meet somebody within 30 seconds or less, you're going to be able to break that person down into the good, neutral, or bad category, pretty much just the same. So beginning to really pay attention to these perceptions is key, not only for your spirit visitors, but also for all the other aspects of your life. So after that startlement and that reaction, you go into your underlying experience. You pay attention to what's happening in your body, what's happening in your emotions, what your inner knowing is telling you. That's our intuition, by the way, those three things. And all of that will go a long way to helping you make better choices in your life in every area. So that inner guide, it's like our inner guidance system, and it acts a lot like a rudder on a ship in a way. So we want to go towards the things we feel good about. If we feel good, happy, loose in our bodies, excited about, we want to go towards things like that. And we want to go away from things that make us feel bad, tight, closed, cold, rigid, shut down. And that's how one of the most powerful ways that our intuition is working to guide us all the time. So not only does this discernment and this intuition work on spirit visitors in the middle of the night and on people that you meet every day, but also on all kinds of situations that we might find ourselves in. So I want to encourage you to really pay attention, to act on these things too, by the way, and to just allow that guidance system to move you through your life in all kinds of ways. So have fun and trying it. And if you've ever had any good I saw something in the middle of the night stories, post it on this page so we can talk about it, because I think it's always so interesting and cool to hear about those stories. So I hope that helps you understand your inner guidance a little bit more, and what, how to tell what's what. All right, talk to you guys later. Bye.